What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man B Vaughan here tonight with another interview segment here on We Create Music TV. Of course, you all know me. Y'all have seen my face for some time. But tonight, we have award-winning singer-songwriter Holley McCreary. I probably said it wrong. Y'all know how I am with pronunciation, but please give a warm welcome to Miss Holley. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Yes. Of course, I'm interested in learning more about you, your music, your journey, your story, and just, who you are as a person. So let's get into it.
All right.
So Holley, how did you get started in this whole music world?
Well, I came by it really honest. My father's a minister. My mother is a school teacher, but they both were heavily involved in music throughout their upbringing. My dad plays guitar and sings. My mother sings, plays violin, piano. She even still sings in a choir that has even backed up Celtic Thunder before.
Wow.
So I get it honest. But, I grew up in a church where we didn't have instruments of music. And so everyone in the congregation, instead of having a choir, everyone sang together a cappella. So I learned very early about harmonies and how to sight read music. And that I think was really integral in the what built my foundation in eventually turning that into songwriting and singing. So yeah, it's been going on forever.
That's when you grow up in a household where it's prevalent that music is part of your upbringing, part of your home culture, then it's usually easy to gravitate toward music yourself. Your mom's a multi-instrumentalist, vocalist, and your dad is the same, plays it, right? If my mom and dad did that, I'd probably be singing too. But yeah.
You're dyed in the wool, so to speak. It just kind of comes. And there were many, many trips that we would take. My father being a minister, there were a lot of revivals and gospel meetings that we were transported to because we were kids and it was summer. And we'd toss us in the car and we would sing on the way. I have two younger brothers, so we eventually had 5-part harmony, which was really cool for me. And really just helped me develop additional places to where I could take my music, eventual harmonies that I knew would come. And it sort of set me up, luckily, to have everything orchestrated in my head before we get to the studio. So I feel like I've been incredibly blessed and ridiculously lucky to be able to do what I've done and be where I am at this point in my life. But this is therapy for me because, my mother taught us, if you need a release, go bang on the piano, go bang on a drum, go do something and make something of what it is that you're feeling. Translate that feeling into something. And my father was very similar, not just with the guitar, but with carpentry, with labors around the house. Do what you can do and do it to the best of your ability. And that's, can never be too proud to try something. And so a lot of that bases how I take my steps forward now as a songer,
a songer,
as a singer,
that's a new word,
and a songwriter, a songer. That's it.
Hey, I'm all about making up new words now.
Hey, Webster,
right.
Holler at me. We'll
right.
make a deal.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, that's the thing. It's like I said, when you grow up in that environment, you find yourself kind of doing all those different things. Taking road trips. You're singing in the car. You find yourself singing almost everywhere you go. I don't know, and probably wasn't one of those households where they forced you to sing, right?
Well, you're at church services. You're expected to sing, so
somewhat right. Kind of like I'm always reminiscent of the Michael Jackson American Dream.
Oh yes,
Lifetime movie. I think it was a Lifetime movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or how they always made Michael Jackson get up and sing, or that's what they do when they find out you have a talent. Get up here and do and sing or do that dance or whatever the case is. So
Yeah, and I love my parents, and they are great in that aspect, but they also kind of put it in on our hearts as kids as well, and I think this was an important aspect for me to eventually realize, not only as a mature adult but as somebody who was interested in the arts, is there are times that you are going to be asked to give more than what your cup holds,
mm,
but you've been given an incredible gift. And there are going to be other times where you're not asked to give as much as your cup holds. Maybe you're only pouring out a couple drops for somebody.
right.
So you've got to measure that out in your heart and realize that, you've been given something and you can't squander it. I mean, you
Hmm.
can, but
You
it ain't going to
can.
work out well for you.
You can. There's many people that I see that squander. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, they take their gift. They take their gift very lightly. Well, either they take it lightly or they just don't know what to do with it. And
absolutely.
I've seen many examples where I've seen the most talented people not really knowing what to do with it, not knowing how to execute their talent in the best ways that can catapult them to whatever level they need to go. And then on the some
Sorry. A
people
lot
just
of
lazy.
that matters about your village too, the village that's
Mm,
around you. That has a lot to do with your ability as an artist to say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" and not be afraid of the answer,
right.
or be encouraged, or even conspire to do something different with the answer.
Hmm.
So it's everything all intertwined into
Well, shoot,
one.
some people don't even want to. Some people don't even want to hear the answer. I
That's
mean,
true.
some people don't. You know, we live in a culture today where giving feedback to someone can be seen as derogatory, or the phrase is "you're just hating."
Yeah.
What am I hating on? I'm trying to help you, right? It,
I think as an artist, you have to be willing to accept that not everybody's going to like what you do.
that's true.
I mean, I remember silliest story for this, but it's so poignant. Um, I had somebody tell me one time, Holly, I just don't like you because you're just too blank blank nice.
Mm,
And I was like, wow, well, okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you because I
that's
can't
right.
stop being me, but
That's right.
I'm just a happy person. I try to think the best of everybody. I try to
Hmm.
give everybody a first chance. I ain't got to give you a second one, but I'll give you one.
I'll give you one. That's
No,
it.
but it's just I try to be as positive as I can and just understand that if somebody tells me something, I don't have to agree with it, but I
That's
can
right.
take it and file it away, and maybe it'll help me one day. Who knows?
Hey, that's the awesome gift of feedback, right? Is
Yeah.
that I can take it with a grain of salt, and if I like it, cool. Let me figure out how to incorporate it into what I'm doing. But if I don't, but even if I don't, if it's helpful, then I'll still take it.
You do, and I feel like as an artist anyway, you're sort of a perfectionist to begin with, so you're
Hmm.
already your own worst critic. So there's not a lot anybody can say to me that I ain't said to myself in the mirror
That's
already,
right.
going, "Oh, that was awful. You could have done better." And so if that comes, maybe it just reinforces what I told myself when I knew what I knew anyway. So
Hmm.
who knows?
That's right. Yeah. Hey, who knows? But once again, take it with a grain of salt to improve whatever it
Absolutely.
is that you are doing. So,
Yep.
good stuff. Good stuff. So, originally from Alabama,
Yes.
Florida, Alabama,
Born in Florida, but raised
Florida.
between the two states,
But
really.
then, yeah, you're from Alabama. Then, I mean, where did you spend
Yeah.
the most time?
Honestly, the longest we ever lived in one place in one stretch was Florida. That was 8 years. But the
Mm,
majority of the rest of the time was spent in Alabama. So I do
okay.
consider myself, and I moved to Connecticut from Alabama. So I'm from
Mm,
Alabama.
right. I'm from. Where in Alabama?
The last place I moved from was Coleman, but I went to high school in Mobile. I went to
Okay.
college at University of North Alabama, just across the river from Fame Studios at Muscle Shoals.
Mm-hmm.
All of that, like, just seeped into my bones,
Mm,
and that's what I'm trying to. I think that's kind of what we've tried to put together in the
okay.
latest work that we've been working on.
Yeah, Muscle Shoals. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did basic training at Anniston.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. I
hmm
know exactly what
yeah,
I have a
Fort
brother living in
McClellan,
Anniston right now. Yep,
Fort
Fort
McClellan.
McClellan. Mm.
Ah, those were the days. Yes. Being young and 19 in the military in a place I have no idea where I am,
In
but
the middle of nowhere.
in the
That's
middle of
where
nowhere,
you were.
in the middle of nowhere, except across the street was this Baskin Robbins. And right next to the
Oh
Baskin
yeah.
Robbins was an arcade.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
all.
I think
That's all
I
we
think
needed.
it's still there.
You know what? I'm in Atlanta, so I'm not that far from Anniston. I'm only an
My
hour
bro
away.
I was gonna say my brother lives just he lives in Anniston. I'll message him tonight and be like, "Hey, is that arcade still there?"
I've been here in Atlanta 4 years. Haven't gone to Anniston yet, and it's only an hour drive from here.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, it's just Atlanta is its own little microcosm. I totally
It
get. My
is.
parents lived in Phoenix City, so they're
It
just
is.
over
That's right.
the river from Columbus. So I get
That's
that
right.
little micro. And we when we go down to visit, Atlanta's where we fly into because it
That's
just
right.
makes more sense.
That's right. So Holly, for you, being in this music for as long as you have, what were some of the major challenges that you've experienced in your career, and what did you learn from those?
Whew. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think probably I would say the most relevant recent one is to step out away from the protection of a label and just kind of see what I could do on my own as a singer-songwriter. I was very blessed and very lucky to be able to work with some independent labels prior to this most recent jaunt, and they did a lot of wonderful things for me. But there is a sort of liberty of being able to step out on your own and take music that maybe the label didn't feel was appropriate for the album you were working on or appropriate for the project that was happening at the time, but things that you knew were just still good songs, good things. And that was kind of what happened is I just started building this little treasure trove over the last few years of songs that just still stuck on my heart and wouldn't
Mm.
let me go. And I said, you know what, I played it for a close group of friends, and I said, "Look, if I'm crazy," and they're like, "No, no, this is worth it. You should do it."
That's right.
And so I got this amazing band together. I've been so blessed with the people that I've been able to play with, and they've all microcosmed into this amazing web of other musicians that I've been able to meet and work with, and it's
Mm.
just been the most beautiful cosmically organic thing to ever happen in my life, and I just feel so overwhelmingly grateful for it.
Mm. Yeah, that is wow. Having a great community of music creatives around you helps to propel yourself, your own artistry and creativity. And I think
Absolutely.
I think that's important. There's benefits, there's pros and cons, right, to being with a record label. There's
There are.
there's pros and cons. I mean, the labels have money,
Yep.
right? And they can
Yep.
help you with distribution and marketing and promotion and all these other things that really makes it tough for independent artists to do on their own, right? I got to come out of pocket. Well, even though, depending on the record label, they kind of give you an advance, and that advance is recoupable, and so, right? I mean, there's pros and cons to the whole
Yeah,
thing.
well, I mean, it all kind of just eventually comes out of if it's not financially coming out of your pocket, it's coming out of your artist's pocket. It's coming
Oh
out
yeah.
of your creative vault. You're giving your time and your energy and your content. It's one of the things when, sorry, I would have to name drop, but Philip Bowen, I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
know of him, but he's on TikTok and everywhere. He
Mm-hmm.
is a fiddle player and a singer songwriter in his own regard. But I ran into him on one of the webs, Reddit, I think I was on, and I came across his live, and he is playing fiddle with lo-fi Star Wars music. So instantly I'm like, what?
Right.
And I sent him a message on a whim when we were recording the album that we're working on right now, the three singles that are out. We were recording in Nashville with Jimbo Hart, who's the bassist for Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. Um,
Mm.
we're going to record with him as the bassist on the album. And I just shot a message and I said, "Look, this is a shot in the dark. You don't know me from Adam, but I think you're amazing. And I think that you could really do this song a lot of justice." And he was just like, "You're not going to believe this because I live in Detroit, but I just happened to be in town that week for a family wedding. I would love to. And it, again, the earth just does this kismet thing where if what you're doing is the right thing and what you're supposed to be able to express, it's almost like mountains move out of your way to allow it to be possible. And he came into the studio and wound up coming for one song, but wound up cutting, I think 5 total with us. And he's just the greatest person. But when he asked me, what do I do? I said, you have to protect your art. Mm-hmm. Because people are going to want to take that from you and mold it and change it so they can have a little piece of their name on it too. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to like poo-poo on anybody who makes a decision to allow that assistance into their career and what they're trying to do, because that can be incredibly helpful. It absolutely was for me. I won't deny that for a second. But there is a point in time where you have to realize and kind of weigh the balance of what am I putting out versus what is happening for me and what I want for my career. And, I would just encourage everyone to protect your art. That's the best thing that you can do.
Protect your art. That's so cool that, you can just reach out to someone and they're like, yeah, hey, you know what? I would love to. I'm gonna be in town too. Let's do it.
My mind was blown because I thought for sure. I mean, I'm on TikTok. I haven't even done a TikTok live. I'm scared. I like to I don't want. I'm scared. I wanna. I'm working on it. I'm working up the courage, but I'm scared. Yeah. But he does like TikTok shows every night, and he's on Discord, and he's on all of the Twitch and all of these things, and I'm not on all of those things. That's work. That's a lot of work. But he's killing it, and I'm so proud of him. It's silly for me to say, but I'm proud to know him and proud to be his friend. And I'm proud of all the people that this journey has brought me to. My tribe is strong and they're deep, and I have so much love in my heart, and I always tell them my cup overflows. It really, really does.
Yeah, that's, once again, right, it goes back to what you said earlier, having a community of people around you, right?
Absolutely.
If your community is good and they are bought in and they are forward thinking and mindful and positive, it's gonna, you're gonna feed off of that. But
oh yeah,
if it's
even when they're not positive, even when they have things to say that aren't what I want to hear, sometimes they're things I need to hear.
Well, see, but see, that's different though.
Yeah, that's true.
I think for me that's different. So when I say positive, I don't mean happy, cheery, right? I mean the fact that they are positive about the outcomes of what. Hey, we could do this.
I see. Yes.
No matter what we may see in front of us, what roadblocks may exist, challenges, hurdles we may have, we're gonna go do this, right? So I mean positive in that way. I don't mean, and they may tell you some stuff that is like, oh gosh, but they're like, hey, you got this, you got it. Like it hurts for the moment, but you can do it. We are here to help support you, right? So yeah, that's what I mean by being positive in that respect. But yeah. I think most people need that. They need people around them who are going to push them, who are going to speak into their lives. And a lot of times we just have yes people. Hey, this song sounds great. You think it sounds great? Yeah, it sounds awesome. I got a community of guys that we the same thing. We'll send songs because I do production as well. So we'll send songs to each other. Hey, how does it sound? That sounds cool. That's cool. Like, I don't think that's the best. I think you need to go back and redo that. Oh, that's garbage. That's why would you make that? Right? So yeah, we're tough on each other.
But that's okay. I mean, if you have that, you have levels, I think, of people who you can have that kind of candor with and not have to be worried about what I say is going to hurt their feelings. That's right. But there's always that possibility that what that person says, even if someone else would perceive it negative, maybe that lights that fire in you to go, yeah, you know what? I do need to change that beat, or I do need to change where that drops in, or where that lifts out. I mean, there's a million things.
There's a million things. So for you, when you're creating your own music, what inspires you to be as creative and as inspiring as you are with in your own music?
Wow. I think just it's it's a lot of different things. Sometimes I will dream a song. Sometimes I'll just wake up with
Look, okay,
some.
wait. I've had that happen so many times. And then you wake up and try to do it. Like as soon as you dream it, you wake up and try to do
Yep,
it, and it doesn't.
yep.
For me, it does. It never turns out the way it's supposed to. But
I've been lucky twice, and I can't tell you, I can't count how many times I've dreamt a song and not been able to put it down. But my poor husband knows if I bolt out of bed at 2 in the morning and head for the basement, it's not because he's snoring and I'm mad. It's because I got to get this out right now, or it's going to be gone with the wind, and
that's
I'm not
right.
going to get it back again.
That's
So,
right.
but I'll see something. I remember I was in LA once in the bathroom at an IHOP. And someone had scrawled, not just written on the bathroom door, they scrawled it in it, like carved it. And it said, "I am not yours anymore." And I was like, whoo, that I can't not do something with that. And so
Right.
that, that became a song, and just little things that infiltrate my
See,
insano braino
I don't mean
during
to,
the
I don't mean to
day.
laugh. I don't mean to laugh. I got my own interpretation of "you're not mine anymore." In
Yeah, I mean,
the
and it's just like those
right.
things strike you, and everybody's been in that situation where you want to look at
Mm-hmm.
somebody and say, "I'm not yours. You don't get to say
Mm-mm.
that. You don't get to." Or everybody's had a situation where they've just
That's
said,
right.
"You just need to go." Something. So I just feel like I try to keep it as conversational and universal as I can, because somewhere in there is everybody's normal. As weird as we may think that is, because normal is so relative to each individual, in the universe, though, lies everybody's normal. So if everybody's normal is within the universe and you write something universal, you're going to kind of hit on somebody's everything or everybody's something.
Everybody's something and everything.
Yeah.
I mean that's absolutely true because music touches people in so many different ways.
Hmm.
I can hear a song that takes me back to a certain period of time, a certain relationship, a certain traumatic incident, a certain joyful moment in my life. Uh, and that person doesn't even have to know me at all. But it's the connectedness of what they've written that ties into the story that I've gone through, or the thing
Absolutely.
that I've experienced. And people sometimes don't really realize that when you write, maybe that's just for me, but when you write music that has a message, that there's heart into it, uh, it's going to connect with somebody, and that person it may help somebody through something that they're going through themselves. I've heard stories of people writing songs and hearing a certain song, just like, what, I was about to do this, but when I heard your song, I just
Yeah.
broke down in tears, and then, I'm now living my life differently than I was before. I mean, we get so many stories like that. Is
I had the craziest situation happen to me one night, um, at an open mic I played at. And at the end of the night, this woman was at the bar with her boyfriend, very inebriated, and she had these beautiful boots, like up to her thigh boots. And I was like, "Your boots are amazing." And I had my cowboy boots on from,
mm-hmm.
she said, "Your boots are amazing." And I was like, "Oh, we should trade." And she was like, "Ha ha ha, what size do you wear?" And I told her my shoe size, which I'm not going to say on here because I got big feet. And she said, "Oh my God, we wear the same size shoe." And she's like, "You should take my boots." Nobody's ever said anything like that to me ever. Like,
Wow.
this woman was in the bar taking her, and I was like, "No, no, no, I couldn't possibly take your beautiful boots." She's like, "No, take my boots." And her drunk boyfriend looks up and is like,
Take the
"Take the
boots.
boots."
Take the
I'm like, "Okay,
boots. That's
okay,
right.
sure, sure." So I take these boots, and I get them home. I Lysol the hoo ha out of them
That's
and
right.
try them on. They fit perfect. They look amazing. So maybe a year goes by. I just happen to be back at the same place, at the same um, place, but not doing it, I might do my own show that night. And right before I went on stage, she showed up. And she threw her arms around my neck. She hugged me. She said, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to see you tonight." And I said, "I'm so glad to see you. Look, I'm wearing your boots." And she said, "I can't tell you how happy that makes me." And she pulled me aside and she said, I would never, she said, "Please don't repeat this." And I'm never going to say who she was, but maybe if she sees this, for real. She said, "I was going to kill myself that night because nobody ever wants anything that I give them. And you took my," and she said, you, sorry. She said, "You took my boots." And that just hit me like nothing else that's ever hit me before. And I love that people appreciate my music. I really do. That's great. But if what I do for people and what my actions speak about who I am and what I'm trying to do in this world, then I'm happy. You don't gotta like my music, just like who I am and what I try to do.
That's right.
That's all.
Wow, that is an awesome story.
I still have the boots. I'll never get rid of them.
I was going to ask, did you have the boots still? Yes.
Oh yeah, they're there.
I mean, but now because there's meaning behind it. There's context behind those boots. There's an impactful story. There's a life that was saved by those boots. And so a lot of people don't realize is that there's more to just putting out a song. There's more than just going to the studio and this, writing whatever lyrics you can write to put out a song to get money. There's meaning behind why we do what we do as music creators, because it is to touch another person and their situation, to maybe give them hope, to maybe help them to dream, maybe to provide support, whatever it may be. That really is, at least in my opinion, I'm probably sure it's in yours, that's the ultimate goal of why we create music, right?
Think of how long we have been creating music. We've been creating music long before anybody was paying people to do it. Banging on rocks or sticks or whatever it was that we began, even just something as simple as a drum circle can evoke a myriad of emotions from people. So it is definitely connected to our souls and to our beings and to our humanity. And, I feel like if we could just put some funding back into public school systems for music programs and art programs to return, our world would be a lot calmer because kids would have a way to express what is pent up in them. I mean, that chorus and art and drama, those were my escapes in high school. High school is hard. I can't even imagine what it is now with social media. At least when I was in high school, it was just rumors. Now somebody just pick up this and blah blah blah. It's everywhere.
It was. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I just say kids need that escape. They need that outlet so badly.
That's right. Yeah, it's rumors, whispers. It's notes. Yeah. Right. Back when I was in high school, we had notes. We would write notes about people. Oh, look at him. Note. Why he looked like that, and fold it up and then throw it at a person or.
Don't let the teacher get it. It should read it in front of the whole class.
That's right. That's how you had to tell girls that you liked them in high school. You had to write them a note. Do you like me? Yes or no? And they had to circle
check
which one.
Yes or no. That's it.
Or you have you remember the little thing? You go like this. I can't remember what that.
Oh, my kids make them all the time. The little triangle thing.
Yes.
And she's
like, I'm doing
pick a number. 1, 2, 3. Pick a color.
Do you like me?
You're silly. Or do you like me?
That's right.
Those were the simple days.
Simple days. Honestly, that's how I survived high school. Was chorus. That's how much chorus and art is how I pretty much survived any grade, because I was always in chorus, and I was always doing some type of art, whether it was writing, whether it was drama. I went to school for theater, and so I dropped out. Because I was like,
me too.
Yes, I don't want to do this anymore. And so
I was actually I was training to be a contralto, a professional opera singer, and I was making more money in cover bands than I was going to make on the road. So I dropped out. But I do want to go back. Maybe not to the same school, but I would like to finish my degree one day. One day.
Maybe. If it leads you to that point where you would want to.
Yeah, we'll
Kudos.
see.
But yeah. So I ended up dropping out, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. But
Yeah, I feel you.
yeah, I don't do this anymore. But I mean, but that's literally how I know. Myself personally, I survived high school. At least high school, really, was because of
Yeah,
that. Was because of chorus and was because of JROTC. That probably was the other thing that saved my life.
you and my husband.
Oh, hey, that's right. Yeah, I did JROTC in Germany. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Very cool.
that was very cool. Very cool. So for you, Holley, to segue, uh, let me ask you this: what do you think were the three things that you wish you knew before you got into this whole music thing?
Ooh, I wish I knew that the term starving artist was a very real thing. And not just something that people threw around. I wish that I knew that I needed to protect my art maybe a little sooner than I did. And I wish that I knew sooner the splendiferously amazing, fantastically supportive community that music would bring me into. The amazing family that I found myself surrounded with now, the people who are family to me, even though we're not blood, and the
Mm-hmm.
people whose opinions and values and morals I uphold to the highest and I hope to emulate. And that's, again, I just find myself drowning in a cup of blessings, and here I
Mm-hmm.
am just bobbing along with a pool noodle,
Hey,
trying to hang 10.
trying to hang 10. But that's a good thing. I think those lessons are key and that they're important to hold on to your art. Never let anybody take your art. Is your art. That's the reason why it's called you are an artist, right? I guess in that sense. It's your
Yeah,
art. So you should be able to have the determining factor of what really happens with the art that you've been blessed with to provide to this world. So
absolutely.
and so speaking of your art, let's hear some of this art that you have. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about
All right.
in regards to your. I gotta fix my. I need to figure out some of this mic. It always moves back. I can always watch it and it just starts to move back. But so you have a new EP that's going to be coming out. It's called
hmm
Throwaway Heart.
Oh, well, Throwaway Heart is actually the first single off the
Oh,
EP.
it's the
The
first
EP,
single off the
correct.
EP. Okay.
Yes. So the EP does not have a name yet.
Oh.
It
Hmm.
is, so it's going to be a last minute reveal.
Okay. A
A little secret.
surprise. All right. But I do want to have a chance to listen to Throwaway Heart. I have it on my list. Anyway,
Thank you.
I went and listened to it. I was like, oh, all right. I
That
got
was
some up.
actually that was the first take of the first song that we did in the first day of recording, and it just was like magic. So I was like, that's it.
How
Print,
many takes?
wrap.
Oh, you didn't do another take? You just did the one take?
No.
Oh,
That was
wow.
it. That was it. Again,
See,
I'm
that's magic.
so blessed.
That's magic.
Yep.
Yes. In one take.
Yeah.
Now, did you have to punch in? You had to punch it in one.
Um, I don't think I'll be on. I had have to check with my engineer, but I don't think anybody punched in
Oh.
on that one.
Oh.
That, again, that's a song that's
No,
been
no, no.
around
No,
though.
that
We've
was
been playing that song for a long
right.
time, so it was kind of muscle memory to us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, the incomparable Jimbo Hart, not having played it ever, is just like, I got this,
I
and
got
just
this.
danced all over it beautifully.
Right. Right. So let's take a listen to it.
Okay.
Let people hear about it. So the way I like to do this particular segment is that we play the song and then you talk about the inspiration and the meaning behind the songs.
Okay.
So I have three of them that I want to actually have four of them
Okay.
that I want to play. Um, but like I said, I'll play a little bit of it and then we'll talk about it after that.
Okay.
All right. Let me get switched over here on my end so that people watching can actually hear what will be going on, and then we can begin. We will begin with "Throwaway Heart." All right, here we go. beautiful guitar at the beginning.
Nobody knows the faces you hide, the darkest of secrets kept locked inside. I was your savior, I made you feel. You were my pilot, you sealed the deal. I sold my soul, I wanted to change you. Should've known all along that I couldn't save you. Ain't no surprise, fell for your lies, and I doubled down. You never tried, you showed your hand. I saw your cards, wagered it all, wasted it all on a throwaway heart.
All right. Beautiful song. Beautiful song.
Thank you.
Gotta get my clap. Yes. Beautiful song.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks.
where did that song originate from? What was the meaning behind Throwaway Heart?
Well, I was lucky enough to write that song with John Kennedy and Joel Hamilton out of Nashville. And we were just kind of commiserating about maybe mixing something up with The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. But then, you've made this investment on something. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's whatever it is. And you realize that what you've invested is far more than what the other person is bluffing. So we kind of turn it into a card game, sort of a Jesus Pilate kind of situation where you have the ability to save someone, but you choose not to. And we just kind of tied it all together of something that, you put a lot of work into, but the other person isn't as invested as you are.
Yeah, I mean, oh gosh, how many relationships do you find that happening in? And not even just relationships. It could be it could even be into the craft that you are working in, and it's
Yep.
not reaping the benefits that you probably identified. But yeah, I can relate to that, trying to give your whole heart to something and it's not being reciprocated on the other end.
Yep.
So, and it does. It feels like a throwaway heart. It's like I'm giving it to you, but you're just, whatever.
Yep. Right in the trash.
You're just stepping on it and, excuse me, I'm trying to give you my love. And you're just like, whatever. So,
Yep.
yes. Yes. Who does your artwork?
So I had a friend of mine actually design that. It's the cover of the album, but I'm showing it to you in different stages throughout the singles that are coming out. The final version will be revealed on the album, the final EP cover. But I had a friend of mine who is an incredibly talented artist, and I said, sometimes I just feel like this nightingale like bursting out of these thorn bushes. I'm trying to live my life and I'm trying to be me, but everything's just gripping me and stripping me away and holding me back. And she was like, well, what's your favorite quote? And one of my favorite quotes is from C.S. Lewis. And it's the part where he says, surely there are far better things ahead than anything we leave behind. And that's always like been something that has propelled me on to, even if stuff is really, really, really bad, like maybe the worst I've ever seen, then there have to be better days ahead. There have to be.
It has to be.
Yeah. So that's just kind of how the whole artwork came about. And I have an amazing graphic artist who just happens to be my drummer and my engineer. And he was like, hey, we should take it and split it up and shade it. And Sean Vinci has been a godsend to me. Sean, my husband, and then Sean Vinci, my drummer. Not the same Sean.
Not the same Sean.
No.
Like not the same Sean's.
Yeah, but, not the same Sean's.
Yeah, and I had a chance to check out Sean Vinci It is
Yeah.
Vinci, right?
Yep.
On Instagram. Uh, so he gave me a follow, so I appreciate that. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
let me go find out who this is.
He's wonderful. He has really been amazing. He's been so incredibly helpful. He's the studio that we have locally to us where we're comping and kind of meshing all of these things together. I just recently got a harmonica player in on a new track that's going to be coming out next. Isaac Cole, he's a TikTok guy as well. And again, somebody I just messaged and said, hey, I've got this track. Would you be interested? And I don't, I feel like, again, that's the universe speaking to you when you're doing something that's right and harmonic and makes sense with the universe, then your speed bumps are removed. You're almost like given the fast track, like this way. Let's
go.
Don't go that
lights.
way. Yep,
green
all
lights.
greens.
Let's go.
That's it.
All green lights. All right. So Throwaway Heart, an amazing song.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. So the next one we look at is Riva Jean.
Oh, the song has my heart.
and this is with Philip Bowen on it.
Yep.
So we'll get a chance to check this out. Then once again, we'll talk about the inspiration and meaning behind it. So here we go.
Sure.
Of green, I see into the deepest, darkest side of me, the one I tried to hide so long. You've finally seen, and I can't lie to you no more. And you're telling me you'll be leaving once the leaves turn red from green. The fall will see you finally walk away from me, and I can't stand the truth of what you've said. Oh, Riva Jean, tell me when you said you're leaving, all you really mean. 'Cause you'll be coming back in the morning just to me, and you'll stay forevermore.
Wow. Yes. I wish it had. I wish this had like a fade button on it.
Oh, yeah.
On this Apple Music thing. That way it just fades out nicely. But yeah, Riva Jean. So first off, let me start by saying you have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I enjoy it as I was listening to the songs. Like, oh wow, her voice is really good.
Thanks.
So let's talk about Riva Jean.
Ooh, let's talk about my Jolene. I mean, that's really what this is. I love Dolly Parton. She's an absolute idol of mine. I mean, seriously, that woman should be canonized and made a saint. She's just amazing. Sorry. And so I thought, if I could write something like Jolene, what would it be? And I met someone locally who had that name, and I said, "Man, your name, that's a song." I said, "Would you be really upset if I wrote a song with your name in it?" And she was like, "No, that would be fine. That would be fine." And I played it for her, and she gave me the okay. And so, this just kind of turned into. She had written a song. She's a local singer-songwriter. She had written a song about a boy she had been in love with that had left her hometown. And I always wondered if that young man knew that she was singing about him, and what would he say if he knew? And so that combined with Jolene and kind of this jealous tryst of like, I know that if you want to leave, you're going to leave, but
Right.
I don't want you to leave. Just kind of like she knew if Jolene wanted to take her man, she could take her man, but she didn't want her to. So there's this tryst of like having to love and let go. And as hard as that is, it's sometimes a really beautifully cathartic thing that brings us a level of understanding and patience and almost a peace that passes understanding. So I don't know, as sad as I think people think that is, I think sometimes it winds up being a very beautiful thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I can tell just even from the lyrics, the expression of that in this song. Because I had a chance, even though I didn't play the whole, I had a chance to listen to the whole song.
Oh, right? Thank you.
Yeah, so I would tell anybody to go out and I always tell people anyway, make sure you go support, right? This is why we do what we do, giving artists and music creators a platform to showcase their talents and skills. So, you know, when you listen to the whole song, you can hear the story of Riva Jean in this composition. And so I would tell anybody, go listen to it. The music is beautiful. I mean, you got the violin and then the strings, and then you got it's just it's just a beautiful song. Thank you so much. And then once again, the artwork on here is everybody, you just got to see what the artwork looks like for all. I mean, I can show you, right? Just I don't know how this will work. Let's see, right?
Yeah.
So this right here, right? So this was the artwork for Throwaway Heart, and this is the artwork for Riva Jean. And this is the one we're going to talk about next. That was going to cut you down. But yes, this one here. And I just love the artwork itself and how it looks. And I can't wait to see the completed version of how all that takes place. So,
thanks.
But yeah, I like that. I was like, oh, it's something's going on. There's a bird here and there's a thing here. There's another one. Like it kind of reminds me of one of those pictures where you got to look at it.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with birds, though.
It reminds me of one of those pictures when you got to like find something in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I miss that. The books that you used to look at in the doctor's office and you had to find all the things. You had to find all the things.
That's what it kind of, can you find the person's, the leaf that looks like a person's face?
Yeah, and it's like tucked under the raccoon's tushy or something. You're like, I would have never looked there anyway.
But it's still beautiful artwork. I can't wait to see the whole thing as it is, and I don't know if you're going to turn that into like a painting that people can buy. Well, I don't know.
I will have to ask the artist, but I'm sure she would not be opposed to that.
So I'm always thinking about stuff like that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Right, so let's talk about the next, which is Devil's Gonna Cut You Down. If you let him.
Yep. If you let him. That's it. If you let him.
But if not,
he'll do it.
But here we go.
He'll do it.
He'll do it. All right, here we go.
The devil's gonna cut you down. Yeah, you knew the price when you signed your name. Thought you'd be the one to get away, but you better get down on your knees and pray. The devil's gonna cut you down. Can't live your life in the barrel of a gun, or the devil's gonna cut you down. Gonna cut you down. Yeah, you might not know it, but you're walking dead. Someday you're gonna pay for the life you led. You can't take back everything you said. The devil's gonna cut you down. Oh, brick by brick, stone by stone, you built this prison here on your own. Just keep walking down the path you're on, and the devil's gonna cut. Devil's gonna
Oh man, yeah, let's get yes.
Thanks.
Yes. So that was gonna cut you down, huh?
Well,
So how did that come about?
Huge Johnny Cash fan, massive Johnny Cash fan, and I've always loved his song "Tell Him God's Gonna Cut Him Down." But
Mm-hmm.
being the daughter of a minister, and with my own, biblical understanding, God can't do that. He allows Satan to do that. So if the devil's going to do it, then you know what? The devil might do it, and sometimes he does, especially if you allow it.
Best if you allow it. That's
Yep.
right. That's right. So you better get on your knees and pray.
That's it. That's it. I mean, the
That's
last
right.
verse says, in the middle of the night when you're scared to death, you better cry out Jesus with your dying breath, because he's coming. Like,
He's coming to
there's
kill,
no difference.
steal, and destroy.
That's it.
That's right.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the devil's gonna cut you down. Yeah, if the rest of the album sounds like this, that's a great well written, sonically pleasing, and constructed album.
Thank you. I mean, that's the plan.
each song sounds different than the other song, right? I can listen to an album today and it's like, oh, this song sounds just like the next. Oh, this.
Yeah. I mean, one of the
Right.
things that I've always been very inspired by are artists like David Bowie and Billy Joel and even Elton John to some extent, who I would hear something from Bowie and think this was Billy Joel, or I would hear Bowie and think it was Pink Floyd, or, if I'm going to really embrace being a songwriter, then I really want my art to be able to have that ability. And so we kind of conspired amongst us, the band and I, and we said we wanted this to sound like War Pigs, and then we wanted it to sound like a little bit of ZZ Top, and maybe even a little bit of Zeppelin, and bring in the Fleetwood Mac at the end with the shrieks and the ghost wails at the end of that song.
Right.
All of that. I mean, I literally was standing in my friend's studio, like banging on some like piece of steel computer desk piece with a mallet and ringing the camel bells that I have hanging up off screen that you can't see. Anything that we had to do to get that sound at the end, because everything just interwove to make this amazing. So I'm just riding that wave, man. Riding it as long as I can.
That's right. Yeah, the album is going to be, from what I can tell, it is going to be a great album. And that's one of the reasons why I like independent artists, is because I feel they put their heart into it, and they're not just chasing the money aspect of it. And so it's like, I'm going to give you songs that I feel are songs that you would want to listen to, songs that you can connect with, songs that come from my heart, my experience, my story. And they're just really good songs. When I listen to albums that put out from record labels, I can just tell it's just for the money. I can hear it.
I think it's for the money, but I think it's also, you're given a set amount of goals a month. So
Right.
maybe I have to write 2 love songs and 3 pop songs. So the 3 pop songs I could do in a weekend, but maybe these 2 love songs, maybe I'm hitting my break, or I'm hitting a ceiling and I can't get past this one phrase or this one turn. And I think as an artist, you apply more pressure to yourself than is necessary because you are on a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only because, as being an independent artist, things come out when you can afford to put them out and when they're ready creatively. And I still feel like there are songs that I started this album with that have metamorphosed into this amazing thing that I never dreamed they could be when I started out with this kitchen table recording. And again, I dwell in a place of ever being grateful.
That's right. Yeah. I get that. I can see that. They do have those goals that they have to meet.
Yeah.
But that's why I do enjoy independent music more than music from labels, because I can just tell the difference between the heart of the person who's putting out the music. Not saying that everybody who's on a major label is not putting out great music, but I can tell.
True.
Just the difference that it has from an artistry perspective when I hear independence. Like, I listened to this guy. I had him on the show. His name is Stephen Blaine. So shout out to Stephen Blaine, wherever Stevens is up in New York. But he's a pop Americana artist, and
Cool.
I don't listen to pop Americana.
Yeah.
I told him on the interview I don't listen to pop Americana. I said, but Stephen, I will listen to your album. That's how good it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how good it was. It was like, oh wow, this is surprisingly really, really well.
Well, I love it. One of the things my parents, even though they were a little strict about our upbringing and whatnot, they didn't they didn't impede our ability to listen to any music we wanted to. We just had to be able to play it in front of them and not get in trouble. So there are a couple, as I got into high school, I couldn't really play Rage Against the Machine in front of them. I couldn't play Korn or anything like that, or Tool. But those are all, I tell anybody any day of the week, if you looked at my music reservations on my music platform, like the things that I like, you would be like, she's insane. There's like Tchaikovsky and death metal and 90s country and Outkast, and I'm all over the place. But I'm so grateful to be able to be all over the place, because all of that has built me and continues to build me as who I am as I mature and as I write more. So bring on the diversity, man. I'm digging it.
Bring it on.
Love it.
That's right. So there's a couple of things that I want to play. I want to play. We've been talking for a while. I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time. Right, we're almost at our time frame, but it never really lasts an hour. It goes usually more.
I got time.
But so let me ask you this: Is the song is the song Laura going to be on the EP?
Whoo! It might.
It may.
It might.
All right.
It might. We're that close.
Okay, you're like,
it's definitely. I'll say this. It's definitely in the running, because I've never written anything like that before. But it just worked.
Okay.
It worked.
Good. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, if it makes the album, you'll see. But if not, you can go to our Instagram page and check it out. Just a little snippet. But speaking of Instagram, there's some things that I saw when I was researching.
I
thought it was so awesome. I was like, oh yeah, look at this. I got to talk about this. Right. So I want to play. There's 3 of them.
Oh no.
3, not 6, 3. 3 of them that I want to. Oh man. I'm just gonna switch over and just let this play itself.
Oh jeez.
I got to. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Okay.
Oh.
I love Parmesan cheese. I love Parmesan. I love Parmesan cheese.
But you know what? But listen to that though. I saw that. First of all, I was like, I like Parmesan cheese too.
Yeah.
But I could hear that operatic type, voice in there. And I was like, oh. But it was just the fact that it was like, I like Parmesan cheese. It was brilliant though. That was still brilliant.
I wish I could say I started it, but again, I am still very, very new to TikTok, but I'm embracing all of the weird, because that right there, that's my mind 24/7. It is endless memes, endless things I've thought about. Sometimes I will wake up in the middle of the night singing some dumb song I heard on TikTok, like I'm not a person, I'm 3 goats in a coat, or whatever. It's just stuff comes out, and it really is very comforting for someone who probably is undiagnosed ADHD like me, to be able to just go, hey, I'm not the only weirdo who thinks of stuff like that. My husband got so mad at me because he had an alarm for the grill. It was just an alarm he set for when he's grilling our food. And when the alarm goes off, it goes da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. So what do I do as a lyricist and a songwriter? I have to add lyrics. It's gonna burn, it's gonna burn, it's gonna burn. He's like, I can't use that alarm anymore because that's all I hear. I'm like, I'm sorry. You knew what this was when you got into it, and you still said yes. So I don't know.
That's right. I don't know. As a music producer, it's the same. Like we have In our house, we have a washer and dryer that has a little jingle.
Oh yeah. Is it the Samsung?
It is a Samsung. It's a Samsung.
Yep.
I think it's a Samsung. It has a little jingle. And every time it goes off, I'm like,
That's it.
or I'm humming it, or I'm doing something, I'm singing along with it or something. But yes.
A buddy of mine on TikTok, he turns his clippers on and it's like, and then he does this vocal thing and I'm harmonizing with him, but it sounds all like the Prince of Egypt cartoon. But it's just anything like that. Like anything like that. It's just, if I hear a tone, I'm going to have to harmonize. That's and right. My friends know, if you don't want me quoting song lyrics to things that you say to me, then we can't be friends. It just, that's right. We can't. You're going to hate me.
We can't.
You're going to hate me.
I'm always saying song lyrics to if you say a word and it's a song.
Done.
It's over. It's coming out. It's coming out. And my wife would just be like.
Yep. Yeah. Every time.
And she'll just go, I love you.
Yep, that's it. That's all they can say sometimes.
I'm like, I know you do. So this one, I like this one.
Oh, Lord.
Don't give it up for that. Hold on. I gotta get more. Yes.
I am a child of the skating rink. That was where we went when you couldn't drive, and Anita Baker was everywhere. And that was the slow skate song of my 7th and 8th grade life. You know, you're just starting to have like a boyfriend or a girlfriend and oh, man. But I've always loved her, and I was really sick when I did that. So my upper register was a little easier to access. So I was like, all right, I can do this sick. Here you go.
Shoot, that's how you sound when you're sick?
Yeah.
That was awesome. And I love that song.
I should probably be sick more often.
No, but I'm like, that was awesome. Oh
Thank you. I love her. I love her so much. Oh my gosh. I have all of her stuff downloaded. She's the queen. She's the queen.
I just love her tonality when it comes to the voice. Is just, oh gosh.
You don't find that anymore unless it's audio manufactured either. And that is the thing that broke my heart. I get auto-tuning. I understand it. I know it's necessary in some places. But somebody who can just bend a note like that and just wrap it around your heart and your soul, like up in between your ribs. What can you say? There's nothing better. Nothing better.
Nothing better. And speaking of something that's nothing better.
Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I heard this, I was a fan. I became a fan as soon as I heard this. I don't know if this is a song somewhere, but if it is, I need it in my life. Right? I do. I need this. I want to hear the whole thing completed. I need this in my life, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Oh my God.
Do you know I've been thinking about you? Yeah, I think you're the one that I've seen in my dreams. If it's going where I think it's leading to, I'm only leaning into you, leaning into me. Baby, I hope the feeling running through you is the same that's running through me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I need it in my life. Somewhere,
I
somewhere in
I
my life, I
want-
need that.
I want to give it to all of you. I do.
Oh.
That was the first TikTok that I ever did where the actual creator responded to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, he responded. He likes it. Like, I could actually do this more often and have fun. And it was just, I don't know. I think it's an incredibly creative platform. And it's an incredibly different time for music than when I began in the industry. Everything is so much more interconnected, and I think that is a beautifully cosmic, creative, rocket booster to what we're able to do as artists now. And I just say, bring it on. If John Mark will do it, I'll do it in a heartbeat. I love that jam. I was like, hey,
I am going to DM Mr. John. Is it John? Yep, John Mark Nelson.
Do it.
I need that song in my life, and I need Holley to do it. Like,
yes.
Oh gosh, I was like, as soon as I heard, I was like, oh, I need that.
It's a little sassy but seductive. I was riding that line there.
Yes, I heard that. I was like, oh, I need that in my life. So yes, trust me, I'm going to DM him personally.
Oh,
hey,
that's awesome.
What's good with this song? If it's not a song yet, Holley
he's so great. He's
Holley
so busy right now too. I hope he's doing well. He seems to be doing really well. He's a great guy.
Good, because we need that in our lives. Sometimes we need the whole album.
Yeah,
I need that song on my playlist so I can just drive down the street. And they were like, "Who's that?" I'm like, that's Holley, y'all. Holley, like, yeah, Holley. I need to check that out. So, oh my gosh, I have so many more questions, but so let me ask you this.
Okay.
So for you personally, in this music career, what was the most impactful moment in your career?
Ooh, it was very early, I would say. It was actually the first time I had ever played any of my original music on stage. I was at a bar in Boston, actually in Somerville, Massachusetts, called the Burren, and gentleman was hosting the open mic. I got up to play my song. I told him what the chords were. He played with me to help my nerves on stage, but I was playing facing him so he could see my guitar, and so I was kind of turned sideways to the audience, and someone in the audience screamed at me in between the verse and the chorus when there was a quiet break, screamed, and everyone in the whole place, probably like 50 to 70 people, heard him go, "Face your audience!" And I freaked out. I finished the song as fast as I could. I didn't even play anything else. I unplugged. I ran home. I decided that this was not for me. Performance was not for me. Maybe I should just write and give other people my music to perform. So a few months went by, and I wrote the first song that I ever had published by a label called Leave. And everybody that I knew was like, this is good enough to be played out. You should play it out. You should go to that place you went to. But none of them were there that night, and they didn't know what had happened to me and how embarrassed and utterly ashamed I was that somebody yelled at me. And finally, a friend of mine pushed me hard enough. They were like, just call. So I called, and the same gentleman that was on stage with me that night, helping me play guitar, or playing guitar with me rather, answered the phone, and his name was Hugh McGowan. And I asked if they were still having the open mic, and he said, yes, we are. And he said, I'm sorry, but were you the young lady who was here about 3 months ago and that blank blank yelled at you off stage? And I have a pretty recognizable voice. I've come to understand that now. But I said, yes, it is. And he said, please come back. He said, please come back. That will never happen again. You were wonderful. We need people like you back. And I came back, and I kept coming back. And I came back for the remainder of the 6 years that I lived in Boston, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And that group of people, although Hugh unfortunately left us in March of 2021, that group of people, him included, they raised me into the musician that I am now. And I wouldn't be half of the writer or half of the performer or half of the artist that I am had I not been impacted by Laura and Pete and Hugh and Paul and Captain Easy Chord and all of these people that music brought me to in this beautiful symphony of chaos and craziness. But that built me. And so yeah, that was the most impactful. I didn't know it until it was too late, but at least I got to know it.
At least you got to know it. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's an awesome. I want to say that I'll say that it's an awesome experience, right? Because,
absolutely.
And because it helped you to develop probably your own artistry, the way that you conduct yourself on stage, and the way that you perform. So, I realize having those bad moments, those embarrassing moments, helps us to get better. And so sometimes we have to go through it. I mean, I remember as a producer, I played a song for a couple of songs, not just one, a bunch of them. Y'all get to hear them soon because I'm gonna do a video about it. But this was like in 2007, I think, living in St. Louis. A friend of mine, Grammy award winning producer. I played him some stuff, and he just laughed. Oh, it was so devastating. It was. Oh, I was so crushed.
It hurts, man. It hurts. Yeah.
But
yeah,
it helped me get better.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he laughing? What about these songs are funny to him? Like, he was like, yeah, that's not it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, this one sucks. I was like, he would just. But that experience, I wouldn't have changed it because it made me better, a better creative, a better producer. So sometimes we have to all go through those things.
Well, it thickens your skin too for what's to come, because there's always going to be somebody who's not on board with what you're doing, or who is going to just show up and try to troll you, or just be that person who's the thorn in your side. And when you're already used to stuff like that, that's just shade. It doesn't bother you so much anymore. That's
right. So Holley, I don't want to keep you any longer. I know
What time is it? I don't even know. I feel like we just started talking.
Right. That's how I feel when I do these interviews anyway. But
that's how it's supposed to be.
That's right. I'm always respectful of people's time. So I will ask you the one last question is where can people find you? How can they connect with you and you and your music?
So we're on Bandcamp, iTunes, Tidal, Amazon Music, Spotify. If it's a musical platform, I'm probably on it. We're on YouTube. We've got a lot more stuff coming up soon on YouTube. I have a brand new website that's going to be launching soon. And I also have a TikTok and an Instagram and a Facebook. The TikTok is the fun place because I show you like my fish tanks, and we have 2 dogs and a cat, and I garden, and I like to build stuff, and it's just a closer look at me in real life other than just me as the artist. So definitely connect, reach out, check us out. We'll be everywhere soon. I hope.
That's right, soon. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Holley, if you wouldn't mind holding on for just one moment while I close this out.
Absolutely.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I would say thank you very much for tuning in to our interview tonight with Holley. It was amazing. I need that song in my life, right? Y'all heard it. You heard all the songs that she currently has out. Throwaway Heart, which is an amazing, beautiful song. Riva Jean, and then The Devil's Gonna Cut You Down, right? But don't let him. But please support Holley. Go out to her Bandcamp, buy her music, subscribe to her channels. Be a huge support and a blessing because we are all that we have as independent music creators. We have our fans and we have our own community, our own culture within this independent world as well. So please be supportive. Support us here at We Create Music TV as well. We are also in the process of redesigning our website to bring you a better organization of our content. More content is going to be coming. I have 2 brand new series that I'm getting ready to do and more panels that are coming. So please support us as well. And as I always say, thank you for being here. Peace.